Hello, this is Chris Gerzlik from XModus, and in this video I will be showing you how to download and install Python, PyCharm, and your projects so that you can run your code from my classes. So here's a quick outline. We'll be downloading Python. As of June 24th, 2019, it will be 3.7 and above. We'll be downloading PyCharm. We'll be downloading your projects. We'll unzip them, set them up in PyCharm, and then we'll get them running. So let's begin. First, we'll need to open up a browser. So I have Firefox open. You can use Chrome, Edge, Safari, doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to go to www.python.org. Press enter. And on the Python website, we're going to click on download. And here it's going to show us right away Python 3.7.3. So the version is Python 3, the subversion is version 3.7, and this is just update 0.3. So 3.7.3, I'm going to click on that. It's going to open up this. We'll say save file. It's going to download. Click up here in Firefox. Now in Edge and whatnot, it'll show it down at the bottom. In Firefox, it'll show it up here. So I'll open this up. It'll take us, now it's taking us to our downloads folder right here. Okay, so how do we get to that if we don't have this open? You can click down here on our Windows Explorer, the little yellow file folder, and click on downloads, and there's Python. Now in your case, you may see it may look like this instead. What I've done is I've turned on my file name extension so that I can see it. Okay, so we're going to start the installation of Python, double-clicking on it. And I have some very specific configurations that I like to follow. It just makes it a little bit easier in terms of how Python, where Python is installed and how it works locally. So we'll start by saying customize installation right here. You'll get this optional features. We don't need this test suite right here. The other stuff we can keep. Okay, so we don't need this. Click Next. I'm going to install for all users, and I'm going to add Python to my environment variables. Okay, so those are the only two changes you really need to make. You don't need the debug symbols, don't need the debug binaries. This is fine. Now this is going to install the 32-bit version of Python. If you want to get the 64-bit version, you're welcome to download that as well. We're going to install. Okay, Windows will pop up with its user access control. If you don't have permissions, or this is an account, a less privileged account, you'll need to enter in your username and password. I'm going to say yes to install this, and we'll just wait a few seconds for Python to install. In case you're wondering, I've done this install several hundred times on my various machines. So this is the configuration that I use on my laptops in my classes. You're welcome to customize it as you see fit, or if you need to change something, you're using a work laptop, for example, it might have less permissions, etc. Okay, so this will just take a second to finish. It's pre-compiling it. We'll come back in a sec. Okay, one last thing. This is optional. You can disable the path length limit. This is an old Windows limit in the system. Just requires you to click on it. Again, update, accept the user access control limit, say yes, and we're done. That's it for Python. Python is installed on your computer, ready to go. Okay, next thing we need to do is get PyCharm. PyCharm is made by a company called JetBrains. So jetbrains.com/PyCharm. There we go. Yes, we agree to their cookies. Now, one thing to be mindful, we're not worried about this seminar, one thing to be mindful about PyCharm, it comes in multiple versions. We want the community edition. It's called the free community edition. There is also an education edition. we're not going to use that. If we were a school that had already downloaded this and made it available to our students, then that's the version you would use. We don't need that one. We just want the free version. So we'll click Download Now. You'll see we have two options, Professional and Community. We just want the Community Edition. So we're going to click the black Download button. Okay, save the file. Wait for it to download. Okay, we're all done. Click on the little folder again. Here we are back in our Downloads folder again. And we'll just double click on PyCharm. Okay, our user access controls again. We'll say yes. Welcome to PyCharm. Click Next. It'll leave it in the standard folder. If you want to put it somewhere else, you're welcome to change this. Click Next. I usually don't need to change any of these things. You're welcome to create a Pi association. None of this is necessary. So we'll just say Next. JetBrains, if you want to change this to PyCharm, you're welcome to. Leave it. Okay, and then we'll let it go through its installation. It should only take a second. Okay, so we're done installing. So we're just going to click on the checkbox to run PyCharm. Click Finish. And the students will know this. PyCharm is notorious for being slow to start up at the beginning of the class. So we'll just wait for PyCharm to launch. It'll take about, on my computers, it takes usually about 20 seconds, 30 seconds to run. Okay, so first time it runs, you will get this import. Now, what this is if you upgrade PyCharm, let's say, so this was 2019.1.3. If we were using an old version, it would ask us if we wanted to import settings from an older version. We don't want to do that unless you have an older version. So we're just going to say do not import, click OK. It'll bring up its privacy policy. I've read this, again, I've installed this a few hundred times. So we're all good to go. You're welcome to read it and see what they do. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to accept this, continue, and then it's going to ask if you want to do data sharing. Now, this is completely up to you. I, by default, don't send any data, so I say don't send, and we go from there. PyCharm will come up. Now, you have two fundamentally different views. You can have the light version or the dark version. Personally, coding at home, I use the dark version. It's a little easier on the eyes. In the class, I use the light version. The reason for that is I use a projector on the screen. I've tried using this dark version, and it's horrible. Kids can't read it, so we stay on the light version. The light version is what you'll see in my documentation. It's sort of the default. You can change it at any time. I'm going to use the light version just so to be consistent with my documentation. Okay, so once you've checked your version, click Next, Featured Plugins. We're not going to install any featured plugins. You're welcome to add them at any time. We're just going to start using PyCharm, and we'll let PyCharm start up. Okay, we are going to leave this up for right now, but while this is up, down here in your taskbar, you will see PyCharm, the little PC. I want you to right-click your mouse, and you will get this option. Okay, we want to pin it to our taskbar. So we're going to left-click on this. And what that will do is when we start our computer, we can find PyCharm simply on the taskbar. Now, if you need to find PyCharm and you didn't do this, you can click the Start menu. You can either, it's recently added, so it'll be up there, but it's going to be under JetBrains, PyCharm. Okay? If you come in here, you can right-click here, say Pin to Start. It'll come onto your Start menu. Also, if you can't find it, you can simply click the Start menu and just start typing Pi, P-Y, Charm, P-Y-C, there's PyCharm, you're good to go. Okay, we already have it running, so we'll just leave it. All right, so we've got Python installed, we've got PyCharm installed. The next thing we need to do is actually download your school project. So what will happen is you will get an email, something like this. Obviously this is a notepad, but you'll get something. Either it'll be from your teacher or it'll be from me. What happens is in the in-class programs, I don't send directly to parents, I send to the teacher, so your teacher will send it to you. It'll have some information. information about my classes and asking for help, you can always send me an email, chris@XModus. You can always give me a phone call, 604-721-0200. Or you can download the information that's available and try it on your own, or watch something like this video. What's important is in those emails, you'll have a link to your projects. Okay, so I'm going to copy this link, go to my Firefox, paste in my link, and this will be similar. This is going to depend, where you land is going to depend on which project you're on. So this is just a demo that I have for my Moth Simulator project I just ran. So it'll have an intro to Python programming, setup instructions. So these are the instructions I'm following right now for this video. It's available for Windows, which is what this video is for. It's also available for Mac OS or OS X, whatever you want to call it. So two different sets of instructions. Fundamentally the same information, just variations because of the operating systems. This will be the source code for your project. So when I ran the Moth Simulator, this will be the information related to that. And then lately I've been adding in how to build Battleship using Python and PyCharm. So if you want to learn how to build Battleship from scratch, go ahead and follow this link. What's important for you is you are going to find your student projects. They're going to be down near the bottom, and you're going to have to find your name somewhere in that list. I've just chosen Huey, Dewey, and Louie as examples. So I'll just randomly choose Huey. Okay, it's going to say open with Explorer. I'm going to say save the file. Wait for Firefox, in this case, to download it. And again, it's put it into my downloads folder. Now what I want to do is I don't want my project staying in the downloads folder, so I'm going to move it over to my documents folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to cut it. You can copy it as well. Click on my documents. Inside of here you can see my outline for this video. I'm going to right click, create a new folder, and I'm going to call it dev. You can call it whatever you want. Projects, code, Chris is awesome. Chris is awesome is great. Okay, I'm going to use dev. Press enter. I've already cut my code from before, so I'm going to right click and say paste. So there's my Huey project. I'm going to right click on this project, and I'm going to say extract all. I'm going to get rid of this Huey on the end. I just want to put it here because there's already a directory named Huey. And just say extract. There you go. There's my Huey directory. There's my project. Now, if you have been in my class before, you might want to rename this. This might be fall 2018, 2016, 2017, whatever. If you want to keep them separated. If not, here's your project. Okay, so this is what we need to put into PyCharm. So remember, we left PyCharm running in the background. So we'll just click here on PyCharm. We don't want to create a new project here. We're going to open an existing project. And it's going to ask us, where is your project? Okay, so we are going to go to users. In my case, in my machine, this user is called installer. I'm going to drop down installer. I'm looking for documents. That's where I put it. There's my dev folder for documents. Expand that. And here's my Huey folder. Okay, so if you've renamed it or your name's not Huey, you're going to choose whatever the folder is that has your project. Now you'll notice underneath this project there's all these Python files and assets. That's how you know you're in the right spot. Okay, we'll click on the top level here. We'll click OK. And we'll let PyCharm churn away. Okay, I don't need tips. Uncheck this. Close this. Just going to expand PyCharm. And you'll notice on the left-hand side I have my project, has my name, the directory where my project is. And to the left of it, this is called a chevron. I'm going to left click on this chevron. There's my project, my asset folders, all my PyCharm projects. And I'm going to go down now. In this case, I'm looking for moth_student. That's what happens to be the main project. These other files are either files that have been created or I've created or somebody else has created for me. But in this case, I want the moth_student. I'm going to double click on it. It will appear on the right hand side. Okay, you can see PyCharm has hidden my imports. I'll just expand those. This is how I know I'm in the right spot. Here's Huey. Here's my project. I'm ready to go. But for students, one of the things that I would suggest is up here in PyCharm, click this View link, choose Toolbar, make sure that's checked, okay? And what you'll see is your standard toolbar. There's the green Run button, but you'll notice that it's gray. So we need to run it the first time to get this sorted out. So come down to this tab right here with your project, your file name on it. Right click on it, wait a second, and choose Run. Run Moth Student. Left click. Okay? Oops, it's broken. No module name Pygame. All right, we've missed a step. Okay, some of you may get missing interpreter. Some of you may get module not found. This is how you fix that. We'll come up here to File, choose Settings. We'll get something like this. We don't want the appearance. We actually want our project down here. Okay, so this will be project : whatever your name is or whatever you've named it. Click the chevron to expand it and left click on the project interpreter. Now, if you're getting interpreter not found error, what's missing is you need to choose the interpreter. So by default, because I've gone the path that I've gone, it's already chosen Python. What I'm missing, and the reason I'm here right now, if we look here, no module named Pygame. Okay? What we're missing is the Pygame module here. On the right-hand side here, you'll see a plus sign. In the Mac version, it will be down here. Same step, just different location. You click the plus. You come up here to Available Packages, and you type in Pygame. All one word, no space. Okay, it should be approximately 1.9.6. If you're doing this in the future, it may be a higher number. If you're using a different operating system like Mac OS, it might be 1.9.4 or 1.9.5, for example. Okay, but this is approximately what you're looking for. This is the approximate version we're using right now. We are going to install the package down here. So we'll just click Install Package. Our user access control will pop up. Are you sure you want to add this? Yes. Okay. And in the background, if we can see it here, PyCharm is actually installing everything. So we're finished. It's successful. Click up here to close it. We'll come back here. You'll see we now have pip, Pygame, and setup tools, so we're all good. Green is good. Click OK. And when we come back to our code now, you'll see that down here, PyCharm is sort of churning through and doing some stuff in the background. You'll also notice our green Run button is ready to go. So we'll click that. And there's our simulator. We're good to go. So, just to recap, we've installed PyCharm, we've installed Python, we've downloaded our project file, if you need it again, is down here, is in our downloads. We've moved our project into our documents folder. We created a subfolder called dev, moved our project in there. So this is where our project lives. So if you are trying to find the assets, if you are trying to change your graphics, backgrounds, sounds, etc., this is how you find them. Dev UE assets. Here's all our moths. Here's our birds, for example. If we were to open up Paint, I don't have Paint.net installed in here. I just have the Windows Paint. But we'll open up that. And let's say I want to change my bird. Drag it over here. And let's say I want to give my bird green eyes. Save my bird. Come back to my code. There's my blinking green-eyed bird. Alrighty, so I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, you can get in touch with me again. I'll show you the information. So if you have any questions, email me, chris@xmodus.com, or give me a call if you need to. I'm happy to help you. I hope this was useful. I really hope you'll get into coding, you'll continue coding. Also, as mentioned in the email, that up again, sorry, not in the email, on my project page, there is also a bonus project here which will take you through building Battleship. So if you want to give that a try, by all means give it a try. All right, take care, good luck, and talk to you soon.